You know how guys always lose interest in you? Well, here's why. It's you, not him. I'm sorry, it's an ultra common scenario in the dating world. You meet a guy and everything seems like it's going great. Then, after what feels like a super intense connection and budding relationship, suddenly, he cools way off. Suddenly, he gets harder and harder to get a hold of, or goes dark entirely, leaving you to wonder why he lost interest. Now, there are as many reasons why anyone might pull away from a budding, new relationship as there are stars in the sky. However, I want to talk about one of the most common reasons why men lose interest in new relationships that previously seemed promising. First, let's talk about some differences between men and women when they decide to pull the plug on a relationship in the early phases. When a woman loses interest in a man, or decides he's wrong for her, she usually knows exactly why. The guy might have turned her off somehow, he might have pressed for sex too soon, or she might not be physically attracted to him. Whatever it is, she usually knows exactly why she's lost interest. Guys operate a little differently. This doesn't mean there isn't a reason why men lose interest. It just means that his reasons are much more subtle than a woman's. It has to do with a weird switchover phenomena that happens sometimes when a woman starts to really like a man, but he isn't quite on the same page yet. He might be enjoying their budding relationship, but he might not have flipped over into monogamy, falling in love territory yet. It goes like this: man and woman start a flirtation and go on a few dates. So far all is going well, there's chemistry and they seem to have things in common. At first, both are very chilled out, even if somewhat excited about each other. A few more dates happen, and it seems like a monogamous relationship might be on the horizon. As things between them start to deepen, all of a sudden, it occurs to the woman that he might be the one, if not with this exact terminology, at that level of seriousness at least. She starts to think about the future with him. Her hopes and dreams suddenly seem to have led her to this moment with this guy. This might be the relationship, the one that changes everything. She gets excited, and all of a sudden, she's thrown into an emotional space where she starts looking for signs that he's right for her, signs that he's family material, signs that he fits her, like the puzzle piece that she's been looking for. Well, forever. And unfortunately, these signs are highly up for interpretation. Suddenly, it's like he's wearing a stud halo. Nothing he does is wrong, and he can basically do whatever he wants. So he does, and very, very often, this includes withdrawing. Not because he is rationally shaming her for liking him so much, but because suddenly, she needs reassurance, and might want more than he's ready to give right that minute. Reassurance that he finds her attractive, reassurance that he wants her, reassurance that he is on the same page. This need for reassurance stops the development of his feelings in their tracks. Like a watched pot that won't boil, being under the microscope sucks the excitement out of it. The mystery is gone. It puts him in a position where he's suddenly propping up her ego. He stops fantasizing about her and starts expending emotional energy, thinking about the level of imbalance in their feelings for each other. Sensing that she has started to want something from him, the imbalance in the level of feelings between the two gets to be too much. She's suddenly throwing herself at him every chance she gets. Even if it's just emotionally, he might respond favorably at first, but the more reassurance she needs, and the more energy she starts pouring into the relationship, the more he feels the weight of her feelings bearing down on him. Very suddenly, it's "Oh, this woman really likes me. I'm flattered, but I'm not sure if I feel the same way." And when he realizes that she's way over the moon, and he isn't, it becomes more and more glaring each time they see each other. He starts to feel cornered and withdraws even more, until finally, he's either just texting her in the middle of the night, or not at all. He might respond to her politely, even though the guilt has started to set in. He might meet someone else or initiate the slow fade. Predictably, just as soon as it started, it fizzles out, and she wonders why yet another man who seemed to have so much potential has lost interest in her. If you find yourself in this cycle with men withdrawing from you, watch the video in below description to find the answer. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video.